Hello, everybody. This is Jetta here with the Pandemic Wellness Coalition, and I am here to bring you part 3 of the lifestyle series. Let's see if I can figure out how to share my screen. There we go. I hope that you all can see it. I'm going to rewind here. So, the lifestyle series is a multi-part series where we discuss different lifestyle methods that you can place into your everyday life in order to find more peace and clarity, longevity, and just to live a little bit happier with a little bit more contentment. Now, I suggest if you're new to the lifestyle series that you check out the previous ones that I've uploaded because they kind of build upon each other. And also, it helps if you have like a journal with you or something like that to take notes. Now, we focus on two different things to implement into our lives during the series, and I suggest that you follow one thing a week because this gives you enough time to figure out if it's something that works for you or if it's something that doesn't. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do or not to do, and what's nice about practices like these is that we get to choose. We get to cater them to our lives, we get to cater them to ourselves as individuals. So, whatever works, keep it in. Whatever doesn't, go ahead and throw it out. You have my permission, not like you need my permission, but you still have it nonetheless. So this week we're switching over from the yogic principles of the yamas, which are codes of restraint, to the niyamas, which are codes of conduct. The niyamas include saucha, which means cleanliness, santosha, which means contentment, tapas, self-discipline, svadhyaya, or self-study, or ishvara, or self-surrender. Now, these words are in Sanskrit, and they're actually all really simple, but there's a lot more to them underneath the surface. So this week we're going to talk about saucha, or cleanliness, and santosha, or contentedness. First, we'll talk about cleanliness, or saucha. So this refers to the cleanliness of our environment, as well as the cleanliness of our thoughts and our habits. Saucha helps eliminate mental static and cleanses ourselves of bad habits that we might have picked up throughout life. Cultivating saucha aids in leading a more streamlined and simple life as well. So with the previous weeks, we worked on working from the inside out. Now we're going to work on the outside in. So we're going to bring our awareness to things outside of us and then use that as a reflection for what's going on in our inner state or our inner mind. So how to embody saucha, or cleanliness? First, start with your immediate surroundings and think cleanliness, okay? Look around you and see if there's any unnecessary clutter that you might not need. And then eliminate any of that clutter that you can. So maybe you have things sitting around that you no longer need anymore, that you're ready to donate or give up or toss out. And maybe things just need to be tidied up a bit. I like to think that our immediate environment is kind of a reflection of our inner state. And I find this pretty true when it comes to myself. If I'm really scattered or anxious, typically my environment looks scattered or anxious. I don't have time to quite put things away, or I don't give myself time to put things away. And then I get overwhelmed when I walk into my space and see that, oh my goodness, it's a mess. So start with cleaning up your immediate surroundings. Something that can help you with this day to day is to practice the 2-minute rule. I just recently learned about the 2-minute rule, and pretty much if there's anything around you that needs to be done that takes less than 2 minutes, the 2-minute rule says do not put it off because it will be quicker to do it now and to complete it than to do it later. Because if you were to do it later, if you were to plan to do it later, that adds all this additional timing because it's like, okay, when am I going to do this? And how am I going to do this? And our thoughts can become more involved. So how I practice the 2-minute rule right now, my bed's not completely made. So I would get up and I would clean my bed. If I see that my floor in my room needs vacuumed, that would take less than 2 minutes. I would do that now, and yada, yada, yada. This is really helpful for any kind of productivity practice in your life, but for now, just focus on using it to cleanse your immediate surroundings. And you can do this every day, especially if you find yourself like in a social media wormhole or a YouTube wormhole. It can really help you kind of get the ball rolling. And it's kind of fun and addictive, honestly. Like Once I notice that there's something that'll take less than 2 minutes to do, often I will do this on repeat until I have to go do something else. And then it's almost as if my brain takes a sigh of relief when I enter my space instead of getting involved in a stressful loop over my environment not being quite as clean as I would like it to be. And this is also building upon a parigraha, which we talked about in the last lifestyle series, which is non possessiveness. So that was all about getting to own less items, acquiring less items. It helps you save money, it helps you streamline your space. All of these things really build upon each other, as I said earlier. So consider looking back at that lesson if you need to as well. So from here, we're going to work from our immediate surroundings inward, right? So we're going to begin to look in here after cleaning up the space around us. I would say for this, the best thing that you can do is to take a couple of days to monitor your daily habits. So we're switching our focus from what's around us to what is inside of us and how we are interacting with the world around us. You can look at your food and alcohol consumption, your sleep quality, or any quirks that you might have throughout the day. And ensure that you look at these from a place of non judgment. It's always important when looking at ourselves and when working towards becoming better that we don't judge ourselves for things because when we condemn ourselves, it can make it harder to get things done. Really, ultimate acceptance comes from accepting ourselves, and we can still plan on becoming better and set goals without feeling bad for the things that we are doing right now. Everything serves its space, there's a season for everything. So you can write down these daily habits. Like I said, I'd say take 2 or 3 days and just kind of watch yourself throughout the day. Look at your morning routine, maybe look at how you wind down from the day, and use your journal to write down some of these habits that you notice or any habits that you might have in place that prevent you from becoming more productive or as productive as you would like, or that might help you hide and avoid from doing or feeling something. After that, take 3 days to switch it up a bit. So you can replace a habit that you don't like with something that's more positive, and then you can write down your progress nightly. So if you have a poor morning routine, if you're in bed for a long time, perhaps you can make yourself get out of bed or practice journaling or dream journaling to help kind of get the ball rolling a bit and also to help you understand yourself a little bit more and your immediate thoughts upon waking, how you greet the day. Also, if you have a beer or two to wind down every night after work, maybe switch that up and try stretching instead, or going for a walk, or maybe just lying down on the floor. Other ways that can help calm down your parasympathetic nervous system, help you relax, help you clear the air, and help you relax your mind a little bit. At the end of those 3 days, write down how you feel and whether or not it is working for you better than the previous habits that you had in place. So, how to embody Saucha more? Again, working from the outside in, we started with our surroundings, we went to our habits, and now we are going to monitor our thoughts. Which is most personal to us. That is which is inside of us. So, when monitoring your thoughts, pay attention to what blocks that you have created within yourself that are prohibiting your forward growth. Perhaps if you're met with a trigger, ask yourself why. Why was that triggering? If you're met with something that brings anger or sadness within you, ask yourself why. Try to trace that back a bit. Oftentimes, we can get upset about things that are quite small. And really, we're not even upset about those things, but they remind us of something else, or perhaps they're the straw that broke the camel's back and that finally made us become aware of something. So go back and see if you can trace it back, almost as if you're pulling a string of a sweater and you're getting to the bottom of it and you're unraveling all of these different things that might have compounded from something else in your past. It's really important to be completely honest with yourself in the process when working with triggers or working with things that make you angry or sad. And again, we're doing this from a place of non judgment. As you practice this, breathe into these realizations and challenge yourself to accept negative thought patterns. So just say, okay, I accept that this is a part of me. I accept that I might not have to like this, but this is a part of me. And then replace that pattern with something that is more agreeable. So let's say if something makes you really angry, like traffic with the firefall, for example, accept it, accept that it makes you angry, and replace it with perhaps gratitude that you're able to be caught in the most beautiful traffic jam here in Yosemite Valley instead of in a city or something like that. And you can do this with anything too, not just with, living here or something that is more physical. It can be something within yourself too. Now, exercises to help you embrace saucha or contentedness, or sorry, saucha or cleanliness. Contentedness is the next one. One thing that you can do is practice legs up the wall, which is what she's doing right here. And you can do this either with an eye cover over your eyes to help you go inward, or you can place a pillow underneath your sacrum to help give you a little bit of release for your lower back. While in this pose, close your eyes and take long, deep breaths. Feel your chest rise and then fall. And do this on repeat. Now, as you fall into yourself, begin to monitor your thoughts and listen to them again with non-attachment and non-judgment, and imagine them almost as a cloud passing over the sky. So listen to them, but try not to get attached to them. If you get attached to them, it's okay. Just make sure to pull yourself back when you notice this. Notice the quality of these thoughts. Notice if they're positive or negative. This can also help kind of give you a little bit of an indicator of how you're doing and what mental static that you might have of things that might be bothering you that maybe you need to pay a little bit more attention to, or areas in your life that you can cultivate a bit of healing or better habits. Again, take a week here to work on this. Spend a couple of days to eliminate clutter from your surroundings and to work on your habits, then to monitor and work on your thoughts and replacing those negative thoughts with ones that are more positive. If you have any kind of exercise routine, meditation practice, any really healthy activity that helps make you feel more grounded, bring this idea of cleaning any mental clutter into that as well. It'll really help boost you a bit. Now, the next one, which I challenge you to focus on next week, is santosha or contentedness. Now, this is focused on cultivating a sense of contentment within yourself. And obviously, this one is a much more easily said than done. I think that this is probably one of the hardest niyamas to cultivate. Now, we can all too often think, I will be happier if, or I need this to happen. And we can get caught in loops like this, right? I need this, I need this, I need this, I need to become this, I need this trait, I need to compete with this person. And part of this mindset comes from growing up in consumer culture. On a daily basis, really, we're met with so many advertisements telling us things that we need. And we're also met with a lot of media and also social media too, which can really, really harbor this one or make this one more challenging. And because all of this is telling us that we need to become something else, or it can create a sense of comparison within ourselves. Again, our minds get stuck on a loop of things that we need to acquire, whether or not it be something physical or a personal trait. When we fall victim to these thoughts, we fall into a pattern of lack. Our focus goes to what we are lacking instead of what we have gratitude for and what it is that we have. It goes more to our follies and our virtues, and that's not a very healthy place to be. It's not very good for our self-confidence, and it's not very good for how we show up to the world in our own self-view and our own worldview. We really want to cultivate more of a sense of completion within us instead of lack. So, how to embody santosha or contentedness? When you catch yourself saying to yourself, I need, or I would be happier if, take a few deep breaths. Again, in and out. Create some space here. Calm down your parasympathetic nervous system. Slow your mind a bit. And then switch the focus on the things that you do have. This could be as simple as air in your lungs, or it could be finding gratitude for opportunities that you have had in the past, or belongings or friends. And you can actually say to yourself, I am grateful for out loud. Affirmations scientifically are shown to really increase our self view and our world view. So, this can help be a good reminder for yourself, and it can also help with your neural pathways to focus more on gratitude instead of more of what you need to acquire. Now, there's a really good quote by the writer Melody Beattie that I find to be really helpful and really attest to this practice of santosha or contentedness. And I have it here. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and even more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. It also helps us embody our own uniqueness too. When it comes to life and society, we all have something to offer. And we all have something that's individual to us to offer. We all have different experiences, thus, we have different things to bring to the table. So, it's really important to allow yourself to embrace this within yourself and not compare yourself to what somebody else is bringing to the table or what they're even just appearing to bring to the table. Social media can often lie to us. It's like a highlight reel. So we see the positives of somebody's life instead of the negative of somebody's life or the more challenging aspects of somebody's life. So it can make it even more challenging for us to embrace ourselves and our own uniqueness and to fall and easier to fall into this sense of lack. Now, this is not to say that it is bad to have dreams or aspirations, but it is important not to place your sense of well being into the hands of the future. This practice can be quite grounding and can cultivate a sense of completion within yourself. At its simplest, all we have is the present moment. So it's important to tether us to that present moment as often as possible. And we all too often get way too far ahead of ourselves in today's society, especially when we're working or when our senses are bombarded. So bring yourself back as much as you possibly can and focus on the things that you do have and all of the beautiful things that you have going for you. It can be something small or something large. Now, exercises for santosha or contentedness. For this, practice a gratitude journal. First thing in the morning and last thing at night, write down 3 things that you are grateful for. And as you're writing these things down, try to cultivate a sense of thankfulness within you. Feel it welling out of your chest if you can. Even just focus on memories of whatever that might be that you're grateful for, or times you might have embodied what it is that you're grateful for, and just sit with it for a bit. Let it fill your cells, bring a smile to your face. Make this a happy practice for you. A yoga pose that you can do for this is any kind of heart opener. This one here is a really nice one. She has her feet together, her knees splayed outwards. This is stretching the hips. And then she also has a pillow underneath her chest. If you do this, place a pillow underneath your shoulder blades, like right where your shoulder blades meet your back. And then you can place another pillow underneath your head, or you can even just lay your head down on the floor if you have the mobility for it. And breathe into this. Breathe into the chest space, relax your pec muscles, and feel a sense of calm come over you. And you can say in this posture, I am grateful for this, or even again, tap into that energy of whatever it is that you found gratitude for in your journaling practice. Now, I know that some of these practices might come off as a little bit cheesy, right? I used to think that gratitude was the cheesiest thing ever, but since I started cultivating it within my own daily practice, my mind is so much healthier. And I see that a lot with different people that I work with too. So I challenge you to spend a week focusing on Santosha as well after you are finished focusing on the prior niyama and journal every day. Again, at the end of that week, write down what worked for you and what didn't, and how your quality of thoughts might have changed or how your quality of life might have changed. Now, with Santosha more than anything, or contentedness, since I find it to be the most challenging, I think that this one is the one that we have to exercise the most discipline with. So do this one every day if you can. The other ones, it's okay if you take a day off or so. I would challenge you not to take any days off, but hey, it's life. Sometimes things get in the way. But for this one, really tell yourself that you're giving yourself a gift here, a gift of well being, a gift to maybe boost your mental health a bit or to increase your happiness by even just 5%. See it as a gift, not as a burden. Anyways, so that concludes this week's lifestyle series. I hope to see you here in a couple weeks. And again, I encourage you to check the other lifestyle series if you haven't. We have a lot of really good programs at the Pandemic Wellness Coalition. Our newsletter comes out the 1st and 15th every month. And our YouTube channel has lots of good resources as well, things for stress management. things for anxiety, lots of different amazing tools. And I hope to see you in the future. Bye bye.